Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Daria. We have with us Mr. Ulas Kamath, Joint Managing Director, Jyoti Laboratories, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kamath, and a pleasure to speak to you as well. Uh, Overall, if you go to see, with FMCG as a sector, we have seen growth across. And that has been one sector which actually saw good demand coming in for a lot of segments of business which were really underperforming. Talking about Q3 as well for a Jyoti Laboratories, how would you describe it? Was it within your expectation or it exceeded expectations?
It is slightly exceeded our expectation because of modern trade is back to normal business. That is the only change what we saw in the last quarter. Modern trade and CSD both was important factor channel for FMCG. They are more or less back to pre-COVID levels. To that extent, that has increased our sales. And if you see the trend, the first quarter we are up by about 4%, and the second quarter we are up of 8%, and here we are at 15% top line growth, and both in volume and value terms. So to that extent, it is as planned, but probably a couple of percentage we have done better than what we anticipated. And in line with our thinking on gross margin at 48.8% and EBITDA at 16.7%, in line with our guidance what you had given to the state between 15 and 16%. So we are there. So overall, it is very satisfying quarter. All formats and all the channels and all the categories and all the brands have done well. And this is one of the best quarter I've seen in the recent time. So to that extent, I'm very satisfied with the leadership team, what they've delivered the numbers.
Absolutely. And are you expecting this kind of performance to continue in coming quarters, or do you think there is a point in time where or do you think this is going to be the new normal?
This will be the new normal because I'm a firm believer in government spend, and we have seen that in 2004 to 2008 we have seen the rural growth, and which is what the base for all of us to take rural more seriously, and that is now back. And this has started in the first quarter itself, and the government spend on rural India and the farmers MSP getting the fixed, and a lot of things with the rural what government has done, and especially direct transfers and Narega programs, and the state spending and center spending has made them to have money in their hands. And answer your question, whether this will continue in the coming quarters or years, according to me, yes, because the government is very clear that they need to double the farmers' income. And this doubling the farmers' income naturally will live with them with little more money to spend on non-food items, and that's where all these FMCG are playing part. And money is available at the marketplace, and all our businesses in cash and carry. To that extent, it's the real sales what we are seeing, and the smaller SKUs are moving faster. That means to say that people are trying for the first time, or people are happy with the smaller SKUs of 5 rupee, 10 rupee, 20 rupee pack, and that's about 25% of our business. To that extent, I'm a very optimistic businessman, and I feel that it will stay in the coming years also.
Right. So going ahead, as you mentioned, there is strong rural demand that's coming in, but are you seeing an improving trend with regards to urban consumption as well? Because that's something which really needs to kick out.
In fact, FMCG urban has always been there. It is only the growth in the growth percentage was less, and that's where I'm saying that the trend in the rural is far better than the urban growth trend. Probably 1 is to 1.3 is what I would say. But 60% of the business is urban and 40% is rural. But 70% of the people are living in rural India, and only 30% of the people are in urban India. So to that extent, it has to naturally it has to grow rural over a period of next decade or two because people are living there more, and government wants to develop tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. So with adding all these things, urban demand wherever it is now 7-8% growth might go to 8 to 10% growth, but people are living there is only 30%. So to that extent growth has to come from rural, and it is coming. And in the urban, we are seeing the shift from modern trade to general trade during the COVID time. Now the modern trade is back, but we have seen from e-commerce. E-commerce for us now about 4%. It used to be 1.5%. Now we are at 4%. The trend, looking at the trend, probably people might stay with the e-commerce for as a permanent reach, so that to that extent it's convenient for them and it comes to their doorstep. I'll not be surprised if e-commerce becomes 8% of FMCG business in next 2 to 3 years time.
Mhm.
So it is easy for us, easy for the consumer. So the new channel is established to reach the products to the consumer. That's absolutely amazing trend which has emerged out of COVID.
Right. So now that we've seen a double-digit sales growth in the third quarter for full year FY21, do you think we will be able to sustain the double-digit growth?
More or less will be there according to me, because January also the trend is the same. There's no difference. January sales also it's the same trend I'm seeing. Only two things which I don't wish for is that second wave, what we have seen in UK or other European countries or in US, where people took it lightly once the first COVID first wave came, and thereafter like we have seen the difficulty. And a similar one we have witnessed in India when we are in February. We used to see all those things on the TV, but we never thought that such things can come to India.
Hmm.
Only in March, and especially in the second half of March and the last week of March, we realized that how bad it is, and we have seen thereafter how the entire thing went out of the way how we have seen. So similarly, if you see, like as we were talking about, the traffic jams are back and people are comfortable, and people are saying that okay, no more COVID now, not required. The requirement of vaccine is also not there. So the trend is a little fearful. So I wish that second wave will not come. But in case one more lockdown happens, then we are back to the old days. So to that extent, we are all preparing ourselves to get everything in place. Otherwise, double-digit growth for FMCG is here going to stay for next 2 to 3 years, according to me.
Right. So with this, Mr. Kamath, what has been the go-to-market strategy for Jyoti Laboratories in these unprecedented times? Say, from the sales perspective, getting on the digitization side, or even from the media spends front?
There are three major things. One is that we are going to the villages up to 5,000 population, so
Hmm.
that we don't have to depend on the wholesale market. We can go to them directly. And always in rural India, impact of the COVID is hardly anything, because social distancing anyway is there. A big village of 2,000 people, 3,000 people, easy to manage, and most of it happens in like urban where density is very very high in urban India. So to that extent, we are there with up to 5,000 village population, our direct reach, and every day we are increasing our distribution reach. Number one. Number two, 100% of the sales in Jyoti Labs now is taken through the mobile phones. So there is no manual taking the order at all. It's 100% it is through the mobile phones with our own platform. So to that extent, the data is available, which shop, when, how much, where, why, everything is available and is accessible on the phone also. So that digitization has made us during the COVID time to use this intelligence in a more meaningful way, and we know we can track meaningfully. The third one is that we have started spending money on advertisement. Last quarter, we have spent about 40% more on advertisement. We have gone from 25 to 35 crores on the media, and we continue to spend that. And also, we are spending money on the social media, because now they're also coming in mainframe, and we are seeing that we need to spend adequate money there. So we also started spending. Specialized people are there and who are spending the money on all the social media, so which is giving us results as well. And some of our creatives in social media has touched 30 million viewers. So to that extent, makes us to feel that this is a way how we need to take it for tomorrow's generation, and giving us the result. These are all the things which I've seen in the last one quarter.
Right. And with this, if you have to see the category-wise business share, are you seeing any shift on that front? Because overall, dishwashing, fabric care, all of that was seeing a lot of impetus taking the lockdown into consideration. So how is that aspect panning out?
Dishwash for us now, again, this quarter we have grown by 21%, and the last 9 months we have grown by 20%. And again, it's based on health and hygiene platform, and people want antibacterial dishwash bar. And EXO was the first and the only antibacterial dishwash bar in the country, and that's now our biggest brand. And that's how we are spending more money on EXO also. So that has given us the traction and growth of 20% is visible, and the same trend is continuing. Now, the business what we are getting is mainly from non-South and from rural. That is very heartening to note that. So that we had the geographic expansion, and also we are going for the smaller SKUs for rural India. So that is one which, according to me, is going to stay. The next one is the personal wash, and wherein we have Margo, a 100-year-old brand. And last 3 4 years, you have seen the tailwind towards the herbal, natural, Ayurveda, and all those things. And this is a 100-year-old neem-based toilet soap, authentic, original one. So people are buying that more. That's how you, in the last quarter, you have seen 48% growth. Because generally in the winter, these soaps, sale will be less because during the winter, people go for glycerin show. But this time you have seen this soap is continued to hold on to its fort, and growth of 48% is the first time I'm seeing in Margo. That's because of the brand equity. So the way we see in all our portfolio, other than Crisp and Shine, all others are based on health and hygiene platform. They're doing well, and once it becomes a habit, then they'll stay with that. So post COVID, also I don't see much difference, and this continuing trend should be continuing according to me.
Right. Any new launches that we're looking at in the coming quarters?
Yeah, every quarter there will be one or other launch will be there. So we have identified, we have 4 categories, and each category, if they are able to launch one product every quarter, so they will have every quarter we'll have one new launches from the category. So 4 categories every quarter. So this quarter we have launched all surface disinfectant in the brand of Exo. So it's the first of its kind. It takes care of the coronavirus also, certified one, and it takes care of all kind of germs. So that we have launched in South India, modern trade and general trade together. Last quarter we had launched Veg Fresh, that is for cleaning the vegetables in South India. Earlier to that, we had launched Margo sanitizer and Margo hand wash. So you will see one or the other items, products coming out of the portfolio, which gives the confidence to the trade, gives a lot of positive things for the salespeople also, and it is the right time to launch the products, which makes a difference in the lives of consumers.
Right. And with these product launches, another aspect is with regards to market share. Do you think garnering higher market share is something which is going to be our focus as well from here on?
It's always been, I mean, market share is everything in FMCG business, and they're all big players. It takes time, and right from I would say last 20 years, and none of them product we have lost market share to anybody. So one or 2% every year, here and there, 0.5%, 1/4%, 2%. It keeps coming. So if you see in the last 9 months, if you have grown by 4%, 8%, and 15%. Somewhere we'll have got the market share. And I'm sure that a dishwasher growing at 20% for the last 3 4 years, our market share will have been definitely substantial growth. We'll have got it. And also now you see many players are coming into dishwash. More the merrier. The category will grow faster. Many people spend on advertising, and whichever the product they're delivering their promise, they're going to stay. And Exo is now 22-year-old brand, so we are extremely happy to be there in the marketplace with a good market share.
Right. And then on the capex front, how are we looking at it? Do you think there is need for expansion in any of the segments? And if yes, what are
Uh,
the plans?
Yeah, as of now, we don't need any major capex because we have the facility. Last one we put on July 7th during
Hmm.
COVID time in Pithampur, Exo dishwash bar setup. We have put up their major expansion. I don't see any more capex requirement in the coming couple of years. Here and there, upgradation, here and there, some additional machinery, small 20 30 crore in a year is what is required. But otherwise, the 27 factories and 17 locations all are working at 100%, and we are happy about that, and no more capex in the recent future.
Right. And are we seeing any inflationary pressures on raw material prices? And if yes, any price hikes that could be on the annual?
Yeah, we have already taken a price hike in Margo for about 4%. We have taken the price hike because the PFAD there was escalation, and that was about 11% of our business comes from Margo, so we didn't want to take a hit on the gross margin. So we have taken 4% hike, and that gives us the gross margin back to what it was in the past. But having said that, in the last a week or so, it's softening again. What it has gone up, it is coming down a little bit. So I'm hopeful that for the quarter March, we'll be able to maintain this gross margin. And we are waiting for the budget, and also is there any changes in the GST going forward? And probably that will affect more than the raw material prices, what presently we are having the pressure, but we are able to manage that.
Right.
We'll be able to manage the gross margin. Yeah.
Right. And very lastly, Mr. Kamath, what's your expectation? Any key, requests or recommendations for the sector from the budget that you've made?
Middle class need to have more money in their hands, and the tax has to be reduced in their hands. And also during the COVID time, most of the people are living with 75% salary, 60% salary. Some people have 50% of salaries. Few people have lost the job. So middle class are the people who needs to be taken care of. And rural is perfectly fine with the kind of support what government of India has given. I don't think that anything more is required. They continue to do what they have done in the past. But as far as middle class India is concerned, according to me, it would be better that if they get more disposable income in their hands so that they can spend the money for themselves, including on spending on bit of FMCG.
Right. And on the tax front as well, what would you expect for, especially from a product perspective?
Tax, you see, this is the one which we always pass it out to the consumer. So if they increase the GST, naturally the consumer will pay for that because tax is not something belongs to me. So in that way, if you tax more here, the consumption will come down because the same money has to spend. So rather, I would say, okay, keep the tax same way, but give more money in their hands by way of some kind of income tax benefits for at least 1 or 2 years, so that they can use that money for us and we can pay the corporate tax to the government. So it's a volume game, should be not the value game going forward.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Kamath, so much for joining us on the show. Pleasure speaking to you. Great insight and hoping to speak to you soon again and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As always, very nice talking to you. Thank you.